Okay, so let me ask you something. If you've been watching my channel for a very long time, 10 years now it's been around, and it started out with a bunch of Japan stuff, talking all about Japan, answering questions about Japan. Now we've kind of switched over. We're doing this Life Advice Live thing where people call in or write in or type a message in asking for some help with their life problems. If you're one of the people who stuck with me all this time, is it still your dream, or did you watch because it was your dream to live in Japan, work in Japan, or pursue some sort of career in Japan? I'm asking this because as of today, I got my first visa approved. Now, I'm not talking about for myself. I've approved visas for myself for 11 years now. I did 7 different trips to the immigration office to get my visa approved. My first visa was instructor visa, then humanities visa, then back to instructor visa, then a teaching work visa, and then a spouse visa when I got married, and then a second spouse visa when it was renewed, and finally a permanent resident visa, and I don't need to renew anymore after that. Thank goodness, because it's a lot of work. What I'm talking about is today I got an employee approved. So I have walked through the visa process both forward and backwards and seen it from the inside out now. And I know how visas work. I know every aspect of how visas work now. And I know how to have a company that is accredited to approve visas within Japan. So, where I want to go from here with my channel is I want to continue to do my Life Advice Live stuff. I want to continue to help people. But one of the ways that this whole Life Advice Live stuff is helping is I'm noticing it is a hybrid, it is a fusion between Western and Eastern thought. A lot of the way that I live my life is a mix between the two. I'm still an American. At my core, I'm an American. But there's so many things I see the Japanese do right that I mimic them because they work better than the way America does it. Sorry, it's just true. Now, there's things that America does better than Japan. For example, central heating and air. That's better. I'm not going to pretend like I like this little box blowing cold air on me back here. I wish I did have my central heat and air, but that's neither here nor there. What we're talking about is, are your plans for the future to come to Japan? If they are, I'd like to see if you'd want to try a plan that I'm going to get started where I'm going to try and work with a couple individuals. I'm only going to take like a couple people at a time because I'm one guy, and bring them over here to Japan and work on a couple aspects of starting a life here. It's going to start first with the most difficult process, and that is getting your passport through, getting that done, getting all the visa work. The visa is far harder than the passport. I mean, you know, as long as you're, I think, up to date on your taxes, you don't have child support to pay, and you don't have like a criminal record, you should be okay. And I'm talking like felonies. I think you can have like some, you know, unpaid parking tickets or whatever. I'm not looking to hire felons anyway, so sorry. No judgment on felons. But I'm looking to work with a couple of people who want to try and see what it would be like to live a life in Japan, to come work in Japan. There used to be a time where you needed a college degree to get a job here too and get approved for a visa. That time's finished. You can get past that now. There are ways and visas that allow you to go around that. I know because the visa I just passed did not have a degree backing it up. So I have 100% confirmation on that one. Okay, so again, back to what I'm looking for. People who want to come to Japan and try a couple different things. All right, I want to get one person who would like to stay here for 3 months and do the tourist visa thing. During that time, I think it's a time for them to not only reflect on what they want out of life, as far as how my whole Life Advice Live stuff goes. I think they can take a look at some of how the Eastern philosophies here can really kind of open your eyes to a whole new perspective on the world. Now, I can't give that person any work legally because if you are on a tourist visa, you cannot be working. But I do want to meet up with that person and see if the steps that I gave them to pretty much be handheld and baby stepped through the process of getting over here worked. There's no investment in this. I'm not selling anything. There's no packages. This is me honestly saying thank you to all the viewers who've watched me all these years by giving something back. So the next step is the work visa. I want to try and get somebody over here on a work visa, but you can't get a work visa unless you have a job. Yes, I have a company. Yes, I probably could hire you, but do I want to? That's a good question. If you're not trained to be a teacher, I probably don't. It would probably be a bad idea for you and a bad idea for me. So, where do we go from there? Are your chances just out the window now? No. No. Okay, look, even if you're an English teacher in America right now, I still would not bring you over here and hire you right away because teaching English in America and teaching English in Japan are two totally different things. Trust me on this one. I've been an art teacher in America, and teaching in America to people in your own native language that speak your native language is totally different than teaching English as a second language, okay? In any aspect, no matter what you're teaching, math, science, history, English, art, whatever, okay? You'd still need training. There's no question about that. But that is something my company can offer. I can offer training. Again, I'm not here to charge anybody for training. I'm not going to ask you to pay to be trained. What I would probably ask you to pay for yourself is probably your own plane ticket and your own accommodations. But I would help you find the accommodations. Right now, I have the possibility of setting people up with free accommodations. I don't want to commit to that just yet because it's sort of a sponsored situation, and I can't just say, yeah, you'll take anybody, right? So it's kind of, right now it's held for my own employees. They have certain places they can stay for free. I don't know quite how the logistics would work where I'd be like, no, I'm training this person. They're not actually an employee, so can you still let them stay there for free? I don't want to push the envelope on that one, so I'm not going to promise something I can't. So, I'm looking for people who are interested in coming over to Japan to be trained to be an English teacher, to possibly even intern here at my school for, just a short time. We would cover everything from travel expenses to daily, at least at the very least, when you eat here at my place, at my company, I'll cover it. And I want to see if I can bring someone from merely a dream of coming to Japan like I had 10 years ago to the point of getting over here, getting all the paperwork in order. That's the hardest part. There's going to be a lot of people, I bet, who apply who try to do this but never get their shit together to get the damn paperwork. And that's something I can't do for you. That's in your own country, okay? So that's the first big hurdle. I'm only going to take people who are actually going to push themselves through the visa process. And that's literally gathering papers. That's, getting your vaccination shots. That's getting your criminal records sent to immigration, whether you have one or you don't. That's getting certain grades sent from, I think, even your high school. You even need like the high school you graduated from. There's a lot. There's a lot you got to send. I'm not going to go through the whole process here. I'm going to go through the process with someone who's serious about actually coming to Japan. But those are the people I'm looking to really try and help and get over here and offer something back to the community that's stuck with me all this time. And it's fused with this new Life Advice Live thing because it's part of helping people push through the struggles in their life, achieve their dreams. It's a multitude of things. It's really just kind of common sense knowledge that we constantly kind of stray away from as we get too busy with our daily lives. We want to reach for those goals. We want to go for those dreams, but sometimes we tell ourselves they're out of reach when really it just takes us putting time aside, maybe during that time that we would, I don't know, be playing video games like a certain someone does too much, or watching TV. Well, I don't really watch a lot of TV, but take that time and put it aside and start to shoot for coming over here instead. And that's the first step of the process. You get the paperwork together, you get your stuff together, you get your ticket, you get your visa, you get approved for your visa. Now, it might take a long time. America sometimes takes as long as 6 months to get that visa approved. I need people who are going to stick with it. Once they get over here, they get their ticket, they land. I'm going to pick them up in KIX, and sorry, I'm only keeping this to Osaka. No, I'm not going to travel to Tokyo to teach people how to be a teacher. Sorry, no. I'll just end up losing tons of cash taking the Shinkansen out there. That's like $200 one way, $200 on the way back too. Sorry, that's too much time and too much money. I do want to keep it here in Osaka. There's nothing wrong with Osaka. If you're happy to be in Japan, you'll be happy to be in Osaka. Osaka is just little Tokyo. You get here, you arrive. KIX usually is the airport you'll arrive in. I'll pick you up. I'll help you get to your accommodations, because if you first got here with zero knowledge of how to speak Japanese, it's a bit of a whirlwind. I'll already probably have your accommodation or a list of accommodations that you could stay at. I have multiple contacts within hospitality, so that's super simple for me. If someone showed up at a moment's notice, and this has happened before, where someone just arrived in Japan, they couldn't get into the place that they had hoped to, and they needed a place, they called me up, and I got them a place to stay ASAP. I've even had people who I let throw a futon down at my school and stay there because they got kicked out of the reservation, or some booking problem happened. It's rare. For the most part, Japan offers great customer service, but it does happen sometimes. People don't speak the language, miscommunications happen. That's usually what I'm talking about. So, are you one of these people? Do you want to come over here, get your visa and paperwork and immigration papers and your passport paperwork together? Do you want to come over here, stay in accommodations? You're going to be somewhere around the Namba, Shinsaibashi, Tennoji, Dotonbori area. Look those up on a map if you don't know where they are in Osaka. It's pretty much downtown Osaka. It's the heart of the city. And you're going to be training and applying to jobs. I'm going to coach you through interviewing. I'm going to help you write your resume. I'm going to try and make a success story out of you and see if it works. And if it works with a couple people, then it's a service that I want to start offering. But I can't say, yes, I've taken someone from square one, brought them all the way over here, put them in a hotel, put them in an apartment, then trained them, got them ready for a job, had them interview 3 or 4 different jobs. They landed one. They're now happily living in Japan. They transferred everything over here. They're successful in Japan. They're copying the exact same path that I took in life. Maybe not the exact same path. Maybe you don't need the 2 kids in the house, okay? That's all right. But they want to live in Japan. They're doing that dream. If that's you, let's get into contact ASAP, and let's put this together. Again, there's no strings attached. I'm not asking you to pay for anything aside from of course, like I said, your own ticket and your own hotel or apartment, depending on where you stay. Sorry, I can't cover the cost of that, but I will do the phone calls to the companies that don't speak English to set up where your apartment is. I will find you a decent place so you don't get stuck in some trash gaijin den full of dirt all over tatami mats and an air conditioner that doesn't work with no light bulbs even screwed in, like has happened to some people who don't prepare at all when they come over here. My goal is to make it so that when you do come over here, you come over here with a success plan. Yes, I will train you totally for free. Yes, I will help you write your resume totally for free. Yes, I will teach you how to interview totally for free. I want to see if this works. And if you're willing to try this experiment with me, let me know. Contact me here on YouTube. Contact me on Facebook. Hit me up on Patreon, patreon.com/Scott Ackerman. I'm not asking for a donation on there to do this. No. I really want to try this experiment. It's something I've been kind of chewing on. It was something I was already kind of chewing on with my Japan stuff that I was doing in the past. And I reached a point with that where I was just like, yo, I've answered every question I can about Japan. Now, how about I actually take action with it? I started Life Advice Live. I've been going live the past 2 weeks and just answering people's life questions, giving them life advice. And again, we stumble upon the Japan-based questions. We stumble upon, is Japan right for me? There are some people it's not right for. There's some people I'm going to tell no, you shouldn't be coming over here. If you're going to run over here and say, I think I should come to Japan because if I can get a job there, I can finally escape my depression here in the States. No. No, you won't. No. You'll get over here. You'll be amazed by Japan. You'll think it's a fantasy world for a while. You'll be, bedazzled by the glitz and the lights and the friendly customer service. And then you'll realize one day, finally, that Japan has become IRL, real life, your everyday. The magic fades and the depression creeps back and you want to rush back home. Sorry, it's true. I've watched this story play out like 40 times. Okay? I came over here with 60 teachers and I'm the last one here after 10 years. Nobody else stayed. Why? Different reasons. I'm not saying all of them got depressed and went back home. Some started careers, some opened businesses, some had a more education they wanted to pursue. Okay? But I would say a good percentage of them had either expectations that were not right about Japan, they thought it was a fantasy land, or they tried to escape their depression back in their own country, coming here. And it didn't work. It doesn't work. It never does. So, yes, there are some exceptions to the candidates that I would take for this. The things that I'm looking for is someone who's goal-oriented, who wants a future in Japan, who wants to work in Japan, who's willing to do the paperwork to finally get your visa stuff done. I can't tell you how many people I've worked with before in the past who've asked for advice but won't even get themselves out of their damn seat to go get the paperwork. Just show somebody your driver's license to get your passport. You'd be surprised how many people ask me for help. I want to get to Japan. Well, have you gotten your passport yet? No, what's a passport? Are you fucking serious? Really? Really? Okay. So that's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for people who've got their shit together, who are ready to get going with a dream of coming to Japan. And I want that to be your goal. I don't want you to be like, I don't know, I'm not doing much here in the States. Maybe I'll check out Japan. No, like this needs to be part of your goal. Like I said, it's not recommended for everybody. Okay, I don't want to just bring people over here to send them back ASAP. I want to bring people over here who are adventurous, brave, ready to experience a new culture, ready to learn how to work with a new culture, ready to learn how to learn both the Eastern and Western philosophies that merge when you get here, not only to create a new you as far as like how your life is balanced, but also just like a new reality as far as how you live your life. Because that's kind of what Japan does when you get here. You start to live in a whole new reality. And it's a very unique perspective because you are a foreigner in a foreign land in which, sorry, but you'll never be Japanese here. All right? And you need to learn to deal with that. You need to learn to live with that. And you can be very successful because of that. Some people use it as a weakness. Some people use it as a crutch. I've made it my success. All right? I'm the only guy for like a 30-kilometer radius that can speak perfect English. And that's just because I was born with English as my native language. And I've used that to my fullest ability and started a business that's made me successful because of that. Why not try that also? Why not try to start your own business here? Why not try to come out here and be successful as a teacher out here? Even if you were just a teacher working for some chain company, a lot of you would be making better money than the retail job you're working in America. A lot of you would be making better money than the waiter or waitress job you're working in America. Those are the kind of people I want to give a better opportunity. I was there. I was doing that before I got here. All right? I was working as a property manager, making just shit money, working awful hours. It was like 11 p.m. till 7 a.m. My sleep schedule was all messed up. I was depressed because of it. Now, I didn't leave America because I was depressed. I left America because before that I had been a teacher, an art teacher, and I lost my job when the budget ran out in Florida, and I wanted to keep teaching. So I finally got the opportunity again, and it was here in Japan. It just so happens I ended up staying here 10 years. Okay, so I think I've made myself pretty clear. I want to keep this video to about 20 minutes. I don't want to go on much longer than that. Hit me up. I want to try this experiment out. Nobody's done this on YouTube yet. Nobody's tried this experiment on YouTube yet. This might fail. This might be really fucking successful. And that would make me super happy. And that would show me there's a future for continuing to do this. So get in contact with me here. You can get in contact with me at my own business email, which is scottm, as in Michael, Ackerman @gmail.com. You can get in contact with me on Facebook. I'm just Scott Ackerman on there. You can get in contact with me on Twitter. I'm Scott Ackerman on there. You can get in contact with me on Patreon. Patreon.com/Scott Ackerman. Somehow I've been able to reserve that name on a lot of stuff. I don't know why it's not already taken up. It's not a very uncommon name. Anyway, thanks so much for sticking with me all this time. If you have, especially if you stuck with me into this new stuff that I'm trying out here, into this new Life Advice Live stuff. And I hope to hear from you real soon. Have a good one.